Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start by giving infinite honors and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakwadash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and are worthy of their double honors. Peace and blessing to you, Aki, and pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last sects of time. A bag with holes, 2025. Lord willing, this message is edifying. And on the screen here you have a post entitled, "There is no state in the U.S. where a 40-hour minimum wage work week is enough to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. There is no state in the United States where a 40-hour minimum wage work week, which is considered a full-time job, basically, 40 hours a week. So you're going to work every day, working a 9 to 5 for 40 hours a week, and you're not able to maintain enough rent for a 2-bedroom apartment, let alone other bills. On top of that, possibly debt, because the average American, I don't know the exact statistic, but the average American has a very high amount of debt, okay? One in every couple people. So this society is based off of consumerism. Consuming, spending, all right? Like the scriptures say, this is the book of Haggai 1:6. It says, ye have sown much and bring in little. So you working a full work week, but not bringing enough to make the rent for a 2-bedroom apartment. It says, ye eat, but ye have not enough. And that's trickling over to not having enough resources, all right? Not able to make ends meet. And there's a statistic also that says the average American doesn't have $500 in their account, all right, for a case of an emergency. But that's the story of this westernized society, all right, where consumerism is praised, all right, and saving is looked down upon, all right? If you're not flashy, if you're not walking around with thousands in stacks like a phone book, then you don't have anything. And that's crippled you so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and Negroes, all right, because you fell victim to the consumerism, all right? The turnarounds, the not making ends meet, working and having a little, but having nothing really pretty much to show for it. That's pretty much the story of our lives here, man. So it says, Haggai 1:6, again, ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. See? So if you have a bag that you're saving in, you're putting all your money in, you're thinking that ultimately you're going to be storing it up, and you go back and look, all right, and there's nothing in it because that bag is filled with holes, debt, all right? And this society is based off of that, all right? Like the scriptures speak of that thick clay, okay? This is Haggai 1:6. In the NLT, it says, you have planted much, but harvest little. You eat, but are not satisfied. And even down to the food in the society, man. Like the scriptures say, that defile bread, okay? Now they're banning all of these foods that are filled with the carcinogens, all right? The yellow 5s, blue 40, all right? Et cetera, et cetera. So you literally, what can you eat in this society? Everything is defiled, man, all right? Everything is broken down here. You're getting the worst of the worst here. You go to these different nations throughout the earth, and you look at their products, the ingredients that are in it, all right, they're completely different from the ingredients that are here in America. And this society is supposed to be the society that, all right, is that pride and joy of the earth, but it's not. It's the exact opposite, because everyone in this society, all right, is wired up in consumerism, in the mindset of the rat race. Go. Don't worry about your health. Don't worry about your sanity. as long as you have this piece of certification to say that you're able to perform this act, this license, as long as you have this behind your name. But what if you're not here to use those things, man? So that's what this society teaches, man. All right? It says you eat but are not satisfied. You drink but are still thirsty. You put on clothes but cannot keep warm. Your wages disappear as though you were putting them in pockets filled with holes. And that's the reality of this society. All right? There's no state in the U.S. where a 40-hour minimum wage work week is enough to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. So that's telling you a lot. So in order to afford a 2-bedroom apartment, your bills, your necessities, you would have to work extremity of hours, man. All right? An extreme amount of hours to compensate. Or you would have to work longer hours. Like say some people work 12 hours a day, several days out the week. Okay? But even then, it's still not enough because guess what? Those people, they're probably spending more, so they have to compensate more for their spending. So they're working more. So you see someone that might have something or look like they have a house or a car or things like that, but it's debt around it, man. All right? Debt. D-E-B-T. It's debt around it, man. Okay? So it says your wages disappear as though you were putting them in pockets filled with holes. And that's the ultimate reality of the society. This is Sirach, chapter 34, verse 21. The bread of the needy is their life. He that defrauded him thereof is a man of blood. And that's what the society is set up in, being defrauded. All right, the debt pyramid. Okay, what do you have at the top? You have the elites at the top, international banking families, these banks. Then you go down to the bottom, all the way at the bottom. What do you have? The debt slaves, okay? The quote unquote the goyim, all right? And this society is surrounded by individuals that are in a mindset of work to compensate the lifestyle that I'm trying to put on for these American people, all right? Because what do people go to the store, spend money, jewelry, clothes, cars, try to be flashy for? For other people, man, okay? Or to compensate for some type of confidence that they're lacking. And the society is filled with that, man. People that are chasing, quote unquote, clout chasers, man, all right? Living certain lifestyles just to appease their followers, man. Social media, all right? And Esau Edom, he plays into that, man. All right, it says, he that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him, and he that defraudeth the labor of his hire is a bloodshedder. When one build it and another pull it down, what profit have they then but labor? And that's the society is set up in that way, right? Because you got one that's building, all right, the Americans, they're building, and this debt is constantly pulling them down, all right? The way the society is set up is constantly pulling and taking them down. The work week, the grinding, all right, like the scriptures say. It's going to be a lot of layoffs, on-site firings, people walking off the job on their own, all right? This is Ecclesiastes 12:3, in a day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and that's the elites, these economists, all right? These high-level economists, okay, that are in the society banking on you to consume, banking on you to bank, all right, to spend, okay? Useless eaters. That's what the elites liken these the average person in the society as, a useless eater. You just consume all day, you eat all day, all right? You consume, whether it be a product or a show all day. You got people in the society. You at a stop sign, like you at a red light, you see somebody that's not moving, and then you look on side them, they watching TV in the car, all right? They watching Netflix while driving. So the society is set up virtually, man, all right? Everybody wants a false pretense of comfortability, and that's being taken away. It says, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, which are the workers, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Meaning what? Bad times, all right? Troublesome times, okay? And it says, like it says here, just backing it up, there's no state in the U.S. where a 40-hour minimum wage work week is enough to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. And it said, and the grind has ceased because there are few. That means the workers. And you're seeing that. You're seeing a shortage of job. But you're also seeing people that are working an extreme amount of hours and are not being compensated for their work. So it's an all-out collapse. So Lord willing, this message was edifying. I'm going to give infinite honors and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harachakwadash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Until next time, shalom.